you still don't know about this, you and your dog are missing out. Visit dogmanews.com and join the movement now. Be our premium member today with 14 days trial. And enjoy the perks. Dog Mom News, your access point to dog tips, trends, and more.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
True or false? Physical exercise tires a dog out more than mental enrichment.
That is false. Mental enrichment is as tiring, if not more tiring, for dogs.
Letting your dog sniff on walks is a form of mental enrichment.
True. We take it for granted. Sniffing for us is irrelevant, but for dogs, it's incredibly enriching.
Dog food aggression or resource guarding issues cannot be fixed. True or false?
That's false. It takes a lot of time. It's probably the biggest issue to tackle, but with patience and building trust with your dog. So there's a lot of bonding activities you can set up. You'll be able to fix the aggression.
Last but not least, true or false, a reactive, nervous, or hyper dog around other people should never be taken out in public. I have a feeling what you're going to say.
We kind of covered that. That's false. Take your dog and put them in a bubble. Don't put them in the busiest location right away.
Six Sims, you did it. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Dog Mom News is a digital platform where we highlight the unique relationships between dogs and dog moms. There's so much to talk about and so much to explore. Now, with Dog Mom News Live and in our show, we're going to be talking about a variety of topics, and you're going to be hearing from expert canine professionals, females in their industry who are doing amazing things. We're going to talk about topics of interest that some are serious and some are funny, but we're going to talk about dog health and viral dog videos and memes and posts from social media. So that's, of course, the fun, but we're also going to get really practical, and we're going to share training tips with you. And we're going to share, how you can work on your dog's nutrition. We're going to look at competitive sports and grooming, and we're going to hear from dog moms with huge hearts who are doing great things in their community and a lot of nonprofit work. Now, we want to make sure that you get involved in the movement. Of course, go to dogmomnews.com to learn more about what we're doing and to get involved. Hello and happy Thursday, dog moms. Welcome to this episode of Dog Mom News Live. I am Corrina Sullivan. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. We have a fantastic show in store for you today. So get ready, get comfortable. You are going to have a fantastic almost hour with us. If you're watching for the first time, we want to let you know this is what Dog Mom News is all about, bringing you the best, most informative content that is built around improving the relationship between you and your dog so you can live the best life possible for them. You may be wondering, what is Dog Mom News Live? Well, on this show, we highlight topics that you care about. We're a good mix of both fun and serious. So we're going to have doggy news headlines and we're going to have memes. But most importantly, we are going to speak with the experts, female canine professionals in the dog world who can share with us the best possible information. So we're talking about groomers and veterinarians and behaviorists and social media influencers. We run the gamut here. We talk about topics like training your pet, preparing for bringing babies home, how to create boundaries to set you and your pet up for success. It just runs, like we said, the whole gamut, and we have so much fun. And speaking of fun, I'm going to go ahead now and do a little giveaway. We're going to keep it fun around here. All right, dog moms, are you down for a giveaway right now? If you think so, go ahead and put yes in the comment box. I want to hear from you. So go ahead and type now. Do you think we should do a giveaway? Yes and yes, a resounding yes. That's what I thought. So here's how it's going to work. We want the first dog mom to go ahead and put Wolf in the chat box. So you have to put Wolf in the comment box. You also have to share this live video. So in addition to that, the first one to like, comment, and then share will get a $5 Starbucks gift card. If you didn't know me, this about me right now, I love coffee and I love canines. So I'm all about giving you a $5 Starbucks gift card right now. I want to see you be successful, dog moms. So go ahead and like, comment Wolf, and then share this video. We're so grateful for you. There's so much going on with Dog Mom News, and we want you to learn all about what's going on in the movement. Go to dogmomnews.com to get involved. Now, as we mentioned, we have an incredible lineup in store for you today. On the show, you will meet Michelle Stern. She is the founder of Pooch Parenting. She's going to tell us how to make that transition when you bring your baby home go smoothly. So dog moms who become real moms, we want to make sure that you are proactive and preparing for that. We're also going to be meeting with the lovely Candi Wong. She's the founder of Wildside Dog Gear. She's going to be sharing with us her story and business, and also how she's created these durable, eco-friendly products so that you can enjoy the great outdoors with your dogs. But first, we're going to begin, as we always do, from the news desk in a segment we call Doggy Headlines. First up, a shaken shelter dog listens to music at bedtime to soothe her. Shelter dog Ruthie, terrified and confined, caught the attention of Ellie from Mr. Bones and Company. Ellie, dedicated to helping dogs nationwide, made Ruthie her final rescue. After weeks of effort, Ruthie was brought to Ellie's cottage, where she finally experienced a peaceful sleep. Ellie found Ruthie a foster home with Brian and Anthony, who showered her with love. They discovered her fear of the dark, and then they just pampered her like a queen. You have got to love it. Look at how comfortable she is. Gratitude to everyone involved in Ruthie's incredible transformation. A clerk opens a store for a stray dog in 104-degree heat. A compassionate store clerk in Mexico befriended this stray dog, providing food and water, and not only that, toys, the cherry on top. Now, when the temperature soared to 104 degrees, the clerk opened the store doors, allowing the dog to cool off inside. Exhausted, the pup, of course, took a much-needed nap, as you see there, right in the middle of the aisle. A shopping customer witnessed this act of love and was touched, realizing the depth of compassion, and, of course, offered to buy some treats for the dog, helping to ensure that this homeless pup receives the love that it deserves. And we, of course, hope the best for this incredibly cute pup, and we are just so inspired by how well kindness travels when we pay it forward. A dog alone in an apartment for a month develops unusual behavior. Yasmin, a dedicated foster caregiver, welcomed the dog you see here, Milo, into her pack after he spent a month alone in an apartment. Can you imagine? Milo's only source of sustenance was a weekly bowl refill. And at the shelter, he exhibited fearful and erratic behavior, struggling to connect with people. Despite a neurological evaluation revealing no issues, Milo needed emotional healing. Yasmin was committed to helping him to recover. And thankfully, Milo is now safe and better off than he was, of course, with his previous owners. And you can just look at that picture right there and see the love. What a beautiful story. And next, a rescue dog's amazing transformation from scales to almost recognizable. Augustus, a dog born with hard scales due to neglect, experienced a remarkable transformation. The Heart of Alabama Save, Rescue, Adopt team intervened, hospitalizing him for weeks, providing antibiotics and daily gel treatments to alleviate his discomfort. Despite doubts about his breed, Augustus thrived with love and attention. And look at this. Look at this beautiful, vibrant, healthy dog. His story is a testament to resilience and the power of love and care. A bullied girl finds a puppy with the same rare condition. Listen to this. Brooklyn, who you see here, she desired a special puppy whose paw resembled her hand. She discovered Bronx, an adorable pit bull, online and felt an immediate connection. Both Brooklyn and Bronx have the same condition. It's called ectrodactyly. Now, Brooklyn's parents made a surprise trip to adopt Bronx, lifting their daughter's spirits after facing so much unkindness at school. The heartwarming bond between Brooklyn and Bronx serves as an inspiring reminder of acceptance and love. What a heartwarming story. And those are your doggy news headlines for the week of June 1st, 2023. If you happen to be online and you see a story that you think that we should feature on Dog Mom News Live, go ahead and tag us at Dog Mom News. And now it's time to welcome our first guest today in a segment we call Bark in the Park. Michelle Stern is a licensed family dog mediator. She is a certified dog behavior counselor, a fear-free training professional, and a dog foster mom. Michelle joins us from San Francisco live today. She is the founder of Pooch Parenting. And Michelle, we so appreciate you making time to be with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So to begin, tell us about when your love for dogs first came about.
I feel like I was born with it, actually. I have always loved animals, and I wanted to be a veterinarian until I took organic chemistry, which weeded me out. It weeds out a lot of people,
Sure
apparently.
does.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I ended up still studying biology. I ended up teaching high school biology, raising some kids, rerouted, taught some cooking classes for kids, founded a cooking school for them. And then I re I don't know, got acquainted again with my mentor from childhood and took a bunch of classes with her and rekindled my passion for dogs. And the rest is history from there.
That is incredible. You know, you sound like a Renaissance woman. I love all of these things. We've got the cooking, we've got the kids, and then you transitioned from teaching children into working with dogs. So how did all of that happen? I'm sure it was a bit of a road and a journey.
Yeah, it was. You know, dogs have always been a passion of mine. And it was pretty interesting because I taught high school, I ran a cooking school for kids, I raised my own kids. And I realized when I started learning about dogs again through my mentor that children and dogs are a lot like cooking with kids and knives and dogs. Because,
Tell me more.
because
I love this.
well, you know, puppies are unpredictable. They have sharp teeth, and when we have families that are raising kids and puppies at the same time, things can feel really chaotic and unpredictable. Just as it kind of did when I would hand a toddler a little knife to use when we were cooking or we were using a hot plate. We had to set really clear boundaries and let the kids know what they could do versus what they couldn't do. And when I was learning about dog behavior again, what I realized was, you know what? I would really be able to serve families so well if I can combine all the things that I truly, truly love, which is supporting parents, educating their families, educating their kids. And at the end of the day, if we can all learn to live in harmony with our children and dogs, then we're going to keep more dogs out of shelters. And we're also going to prevent bites to children as well.
I love that. And there's just so much for all of us to learn from having a dog in the home. It's so good and enriching for our lives and for children to grow up with a loving companion. I mean, I know for my family, our dog Louie Bear is like literally just takes the stress level from here to here with our kids when they cuddle up, and there's just so much love. So I love how you've dedicated your life to improving and enriching the relationship between dogs and their families. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So you mentioned though, Michelle, your mentor, and can you tell us about who has made the most profound impact maybe on you and your career and the main takeaways from that relationship?
Yeah, definitely. So I learned a lot from a woman named Trish King, who was actually in charge of the behavior department at the animal shelter where I volunteered when I was a teenager. And she was a legend. She had a no nonsense approach. She also had a lot of kindness and empathy with her approach to helping people and sharing the reality, the honest reality of perhaps a dog's prognosis. And so when I was learning from her, I just was so thrilled to be able to absorb some of that empathy. But I have also learned from a lot of other people in the industry. Mike Shikashio is another person who's amazing. He specializes in aggression and reactivity, and he's remarkable. I often find myself thinking, what would Mike do in this situation? Because he's
There you go.
so great. And then also another woman named Kim Brophy, who really has taken animal behavior and flipped it on its head to really look at the whole animal, what actually contributes to behavior. And it turns out that it's not just puppies aren't made of clay, so you can't just raise them differently and have them come out the way you want them to. Genetics is a huge component, physical health, etc., personality, their learning history, and more. But we really need to help people understand all of those components, because you can't just take any dog and make it work in any circumstance. It's like a square peg in a round hole.
Oh, absolutely. It makes total sense. And two, figuring out, you know, ourselves. We need to look internally and we need to look externally at the dog, right? Like they can sense when something is really off in us or if we're not really all in. I love how you give families coping tools. Like the more we have in our toolbox, the better. It is awesome. So I know in particular you have one focus of, and you have many areas of expertise, but in helping families who are expecting a baby, to make the best transition possible, bringing home their child. So preparing the pet and preparing the household. So just kind of walk us through what that whole approach is like for you when you come alongside families.
Oh, this is one of my favorite things to do with a family is when they reach out to me when they're either adopting or expecting a baby and they realize that their dog was their first baby and that they better prepare the dog for this huge transition. Because a lot of people don't actually realize that the dog may struggle when they bring home their baby. And so what is remarkable is when I can sort of get my hands on them virtually because I see all my clients
Yes.
online. But when we can work together to set them up and help them to make their dog a little bit more flexible in terms of how their schedule is. So, what I mean by that is a dog might be really used to getting dinner, let's say at 5 p.m. on the dot. And if you have an exploded diaper or a baby who's fussy, you can't necessarily attend to your dog's needs at that exact schedule. But a lot of people don't practice shifting things around, maybe reducing the amount of attention a dog gets, because certainly that will happen once baby shows up. So we have a whole variety of things that we can do to help families to work with their dog, to try to limit jealousy even once baby shows up, and then also to implement a variety of safety strategies in the actual house to prevent anything unexpected from happening.
I mean, dogs have opinions like people have opinions, right? Just like a family would think about, oh, okay, I need to make sure that this transition, adding another child to the family works. We need to think about that for our dogs too, because jealousy is an issue. I mean, is that one of the primary problems that you see as families make this transition?
Yeah, I think that some people just wear rose-colored glasses and they hope for the best. Maybe their childhood dog was great, and so they figured, we grew up with our dog and everything was fine, and I had nothing to worry about. So I'm sure my dog is great, my dog is well trained, and I won't have any problems. But in reality, what I'm seeing these days is that a lot of dogs do really struggle. Jealousy is one piece of it, but we have a lot of dogs that are really anxious or that have physical pain or have an unpredictable, a history that we're not really sure, what
Right.
was going on. And so all of these different sets of circumstances can impact any family in a variety of ways. And there isn't really a cookie cutter approach necessarily. But jealousy is certainly one piece of it. Safety is really huge. Like some people, if you're sleeping with your dog in your bed, which is fine. I sleep with my dog in my bed, but then
Sure.
you can't actually also have your newborn there as well, because if you're asleep, you're unable to supervise your dog and your baby
Right.
in the same situation. And unfortunately,
Mhm.
there have been some fatalities because
Oh
people
my,
didn't know what they didn't know. And I
what
really want to
tragedies.
help prevent any tragedies like that with my
Of
clients.
course. How much do you, or how soon do you recommend that your clients kind of turn back the clock and say, okay, if we're going to start this new bedtime routine, I mean, how long does it take a dog to adapt to a new routine?
I love that question.
Mhm.
I hate the answer that I'm about to give you because you're going to roll your eyes and be like, oh, Michelle. But the answer is it depends, right? It
Okay,
depends.
sure.
So, the reason I say this is that every dog is different. We have some dogs who have a panic disorder called separation anxiety. Those dogs may have a really, really difficult time separating from the family, in which case we need to be flexible and we need to come up perhaps with a different strategy. So, in a dog that really emotionally cannot tolerate being separated from their family, then maybe what we do is we ease them off the bed, and maybe they're in a dog bed on the floor that has a pen around it so the dog can't get to the sleeping baby. Or maybe we work on crating the dog at night so the dog can't get to the baby. But we can be flexible, and I love to work outside the box to meet the needs of the individual clients and the individual dog. But
Love
honestly, as
that.
soon as you find out that you're expecting, or if you're adopting a child that you are matched with a baby, I think it's never too soon to begin this process, because honestly, if people wait until the last minute and we make these big changes once baby is here, then the risk is that the dog associates this big change with the baby. And
Yes,
then we have some trouble with these positive associations we're trying to accomplish, right? So if we
makes
can change
sense.
the routine and change the whole system before baby's in the picture, then the dog isn't really going to put two and two together and figure out, oh, it's because
Right.
of this new little human that all this change is happening.
Really good tips. You're right, because that can foster a sense of resentment and frustration in the dog. And then here, mom and dad, or the parents have a new baby, and that can be at times stressful. So, whatever
Yes.
we can do to minimize that stress is so helpful. And I love some of those strategies that you shared. Now, I think, Michelle, that most of us, when we go into a relationship with a new pet, we want to see it be successful. We're all in, we're committed, and we are all for that. But are there ever times where you think, okay, or help us to understand where a dog mom might have to come to terms with the fact that perhaps this dog's temperament is not a good fit in the home, or this breed is not best for this situation? Life and seasons can change. So what is your advice there?
Oh,
So hard.
it's such an emotional
It
situation,
is.
because people, I mean, moms, I mean, we
Yes.
have guilt. We have guilt coming out the wazoo, right? It's just, we criticize ourselves about, are we good enough? And do we know enough? And did we make good choices? And for many of us, we had our dogs, they were our first babies, right? Our fur babies,
Right.
or whatever you want to call them. But, we had our dogs before we had kids. And so we love them. But if we have a dog that's really anxious or that has a bite history, we really have to think about whether or not that dog can feel happy and safe in an environment that has now become much more chaotic. Because even though we don't like to think of our dog or of our babies as adding chaos, they do. I mean, we need
They
to
do.
be really honest about that. They
Yes.
change everything.
Huge
Um,
learning curve. Yes.
Exactly. And so we really need to think about the emotional well being of us as the main caregiver of everybody in the family, if we're really stressed out because we're so worried all the time that our dog might hurt the baby, or our dog is just such a nervous wreck, or pacing or panting, or otherwise impaired by this whole new circumstance, then we're going to just feel bad all the time. And so we need to consider, would the dog be better suited in a different kind of home, maybe that didn't have children? Additionally, if there's a really big safety risk, we need to be really honest
Right.
about that. And I have to say that a lot of my clients really, they cry with me, and we talk about that. I apologize if you hear my puppy. She's
No, I
protesting that
love
she's
it.
not included in this interview.
This is Dog Mom News Live, and that is real
Sorry.
life. No problem. Louie Bear might want to get in on this in a minute too. So we might have a bark off.
Oh,
I don't know, Michelle.
I'm so sorry.
Oh
Yes,
no, we
I
we
always
are
like to
dog
keep it
friendly
real.
here, obviously. We love it,
Well,
Michelle. And I love
I
that
like
you're a
to keep
dog
it real.
mom. You're not just training families with dogs, you're living the dog life yourself. So that gives you perspective,
It
as
certainly
someone
does.
that loves animals and people. So that is awesome. Now, do you want to share any more techniques with us that you use in your training that could be helpful for us as dog moms to learn from you?
Yes. I mean, one thing that I think is really important is that we use strategies that are all positive reinforcement based. And so, again, we're trying so hard to build strong relationships. And the best way we can do that is to reward behavior that we want to see repeated, as opposed to punishing behavior that we don't like. Because the dog doesn't necessarily understand what the punishment comes from. And frankly, science has proven that punishment is not an effective. I mean, it'll get behavior to stop in the moment because the dog is scared of you. But when we have a family where we're growing and we have a baby, we're vulnerable. We want all positive interactions to happen.
Sure.
And we want things to be pleasant around the child and the
Mm.
dog. So really that's one of my biggest focuses, is really to just strengthen relationships. But I think that our dog moms need to kind of understand that this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And social media can
Yes.
really mislead people into thinking that everybody else's dog and baby or dog and child relationship is perfect because that's all they show online. But in reality, a lot of times people are showing things that are dangerous, that are maybe
Yes.
not so safe because they want things to look good to the public. And I wish that we could normalize like the reality, like the fact that I'm
I
a
love
dog
that.
behavior consultant and my puppy's
Yes.
crying, and that's okay because she's not
Right.
panicking and she's not in real distress. She's just having a little fit. But this
Right.
is real, and we need to work within the reality that we're each in and reduce stress as much as possible and be honest about it. My dog is
So
upset.
good.
It's a little bit uncomfortable for me right now because I'm with you and I
Sure.
give you my full attention. But this
Oh,
is what life is like with a child too. We
that's
never
right.
really know what's going to happen at any given time. And so using management strategies like baby gates or pens or crates or
Great.
managing spaces is probably the most important thing that parents need to do, because literally, one mom to another, you can't even get up and pee by yourself ever again if you have a dog and kids. I'm serious, because
Oh my,
any
it's the
day
truth. They
you
know where we are at all times. All
but you
times.
can't leave them alone together. You just
No.
can't do it. It's not safe. And so
No.
we need to really just, if we have barriers in place, that gives us so much more freedom and flexibility to
You're right.
breathe. It's for
Right.
cooking, for laundry, all the things. We don't have eyes on the back of our head. I wish we could figure
No.
that out, but we haven't figured that out yet.
I love your whole idea of, well, and this is what everybody's craving today. I think authenticity. I know. It's real life. It's real life. But being authentic, being honest, being true, it's no problem, Michelle. I love it. But let me know, before we leave you, is there anything else that you want our audience to know? I know we want to stay on top of what's going on with you. So if you want to share, social media, how folks can find you, let us
Yes,
know.
I would love to. Okay, so if anybody who's watching is pregnant or is adopting a baby, I have a free boot camp coming up, and I know that we can link to it, and I will, of course, link to it in the comments. But I have a free pre-baby boot camp on preventing dog jealousy, and
That's
it's, like I
great.
said, it's totally free, and I'm really excited. It's going to be between 6 and 10 days with me, with live Q&As and actual teaching. which is going to be super fun. You can also find me at Pooch Parenting on Instagram and Facebook. I'm very responsive. I also have a podcast called the Pooch Parenting Podcast, and it's one of the only podcasts out there for parents with dogs.
Love it. Love it. And I love your heart for giving back, offering these free courses and opportunities. And Michelle Stern of Pooch Parenting, you are a pleasure and a joy. And I want you to go hug your dog for us. Will you do that right now?
I'm going to go let her out of her crate right now. I apologize.
Okay, do that.
That's
no problem.
Okay,
you are awesome, Michelle. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Our team spent the week checking out all kinds of online videos out there to find the funniest laugh out loud videos for you. And we're going to share them with you now in a segment we call Bark Out Loud. All right, this punching pug apparently getting ready for a big match. Who are you training for, bro? Hello. Hello. Sounds just like her. It's great. Hello. I don't think he liked the smell. Constantly just drops right there. My husky mocks my laugh. Listen to it. He said, it's my time to shine. And tried to get my baby's newborn scrunch. Okay, show us on the video. And the puppy had, boom, other ideas. My goodness, booty in the camera. Moving on now. Guys, he did it again. Tired. Out cold. So cute. Her dog stole my dad's fake dentures. Look at that. And I can't stop laughing. We all can't stop laughing. That toothy grin. Two kinds of dogs. The dogs who catch the treat. And Lear, who apparently goes, what just happened? I don't care. Treat? What? What's going on? What's going on here? I mean, here I am. Here I am. I'm ready. Do you see me? Look at me. I do awesome tricks. Really, really good tricks. I jump really high. Help me. Give me what I want. Right now. Right now. Let's go. I mean, what a vertical. When you need dad to pet you, but you also just really want him to sleep. But I really want you to pet me. Come on, dad. Wake up. Leave him alone. Oh, leave him alone. Leave him alone, buddy. Don't do it. Don't act on it. Wow, 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 wow. Sorry, is that a dog or a siren? I mean, I wonder what other sounds he has in his repertoire. Some really impressive canines there. It's just what I needed to see. I'm sure you loved it too. And now it is time to meet our next guest and female business owner in a segment we call Dog Mom Biz. The intro just makes me want to dance. You too? I know it. Candi Wong is the owner of Wildside Dog Gear. She is super passionate about creating products that make dog owners and dogs want to get out and enjoy the great outdoors. She's also focused on creating gear that is both durable and functional. And Candi joins us from Salt Lake City, Utah. Candi, how are you doing today?
Good. How about you?
Oh, so happy to be here and to be able to talk with you today about all of the awesome things happening with your company. So just to start, tell us how you fell in love with dogs. Where did your love for dogs begin?
Well, so I grew up in Hong Kong, and there wasn't a lot of dogs there because it's such a busy city.
Sure.
And we lived in flats that was probably as tall as what, like 70 stories. I don't know. I can't keep count, but not a lot of dogs until I moved to America, which was, I think I was around 10 or 11 years old. And my first dog was, we adopted the dog that our uncle had, and he was abused, unfortunately. And then we rescued him, and I had no idea what taking care of a dog was. And we had to figure it out. We had to learn. We didn't know any English. All we can do was just show the dog some love. But unfortunately, we had to rehome the dog because it was badly abused, and it was just beyond my control, knowing how to, deal with a dog that just kept attacking us, which is not his fault. He was just
Of course.
defending himself.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
kind of what started
It's
with
such
dogs.
a commitment though, and it's like it's the hard work worth doing, right? And it sounds to me like that's when your love and your affection and your commitment to animals really blossomed. So good can come out of hard things. Now, it's my understanding, Candi, that you didn't start in the outdoor gear industry, that you actually transitioned from tech to pet. So how did all that take place?
Well, I used to live in Washington, D.C. I actually didn't know anything about tech. So I took a job as a tech support, the easiest one that you can get into. And I wanted to make the transition easier, transitioning from Washington, D.C. to Salt Lake City. So I needed a remote job. And so I picked that up in Washington, D.C. And I noticed that was something that I never want to do again because it was just so hard. And, I love pets, and that was just not for me. And that's just kind of how Wildside got started when we moved out to Utah.
So did that start getting you thinking about, okay, what do I really love? What could I use some of the skills that I've obtained, to do? I mean, how did you get to that point where you said, okay, dogs and gear, let's go?
Yeah, so we actually didn't have a dog yet when we lived in
Yes.
DC. So we had plans to get a puppy, a golden retriever puppy that my husband and I always dreamed of having, a bigger dog, but we thought it wouldn't be fair for the dog to live in, such a small space in Washington, D.C. We want to wait until we moved. So we moved to Utah. I was thinking, well, I maybe could pick up on photography. I love snapping photos with my phone, but how can I take this to the next level? So I started doing some research. I learned on YouTube like everyone else. And then I started Wildside pet photography, and Jib, our first golden JIB. I started practicing on him, and I took some courses on how to get photography clients. I did that for about like a year or so and realized it wasn't for me because of the sales aspect of it.
So where did you start with the gear? What kind of gear did you start with? And now, you have so many incredible products, but where did it all start?
It started from a road trip that we take annually to the Outer Banks. It's a 3-day trip or 3-day commute. It's not really a commute, is it? It's a 3-day journey to the Outer Banks from Utah to the Outer Banks.
It's a long time. Good job,
yes.
girl. A lot to see along the way.
Lots of sleep along the way.
Yes.
For me, at
yes.
least.
There you go.
And I really wanted this machine called the Cricut Maker. It's it cuts vinyl.
Familiar.
I don't know if you're familiar. You're familiar with it, right?
Yes.
Everyone knows about it in the craft industry.
Yes.
So I grabbed that machine. I think we were in the middle of like nowhere, Oklahoma or something. They were sold out everywhere. So I was just tracking where I can find it at Joann's, and it was just in some random city. And I told my husband, like, we need to stop. I need to get this machine so I have something to do.
Love that.
Vacation. Most people just enjoy themselves on vacation.
I need something to do now.
I need something to craft. So I picked that up, and then I bought a bunch of like felt sheets of like, the material that's like really thick, and it's like cut into pieces of paper.
Yes.
The Cricut can cut that into like different shapes, and I started rolling it in different like types of flowers. And then I put a Velcro on the back.
On the collar? Did you put those on the collar? Okay.
And that's kind of how Wildside started. And after we got back from vacation, I started an Etsy page, and that was 2018. And it was cute for a little while, and family supported, friends supported it, but
you got the itch, right? You wanted to expand. And then did you go from the flowers to what? Maybe bandanas? Is that what you did next?
Yeah. So I went to bandanas, something else that my dogs could wear that I could do easily because I didn't know how to sew, even though my mom, she's a very experienced seamstress since she was young, but I have no idea how to sew. So I was using a glue gun still, like with the
Wow,
bandanas, I was using a glue gun
you are
because
awesome.
I don't know how to sew and I refuse to do it yet. And then it just got to the point I'm like, you know what? This is not going to hold up. I need to learn how to sew. And I started watching YouTube again,
That
and
is
then
so
was just
cool.
teaching myself.
Love
Um,
that.
Started sewing the bandanas, and then some of my customers started asking, like, "Hey, do you think you'll ever, you know, go down the road where you're going to make dog collars and dog leashes?"
Sure. And then I love your attitude. You're like, well, I don't know how to do it yet. It's the power of yet. I love that about you. You're like, I don't know, but I'll learn and I'll do it. And what you have here is this beautiful, like, I guess evolution of your product line, of your company. Tell us about Wildside Dog Gear. Like, was there a story behind the name and how you got to where you are with the name of your business?
Yeah, I mean, most people have a story, but for the name, I don't. I basically just went on Pinterest and I was just scrolling through, and I'm like, oh, that looks really nice. That W looks nice. Like,
Sure. Sounds cool, right? We can start there. It sounds really cool. Wild side. We all have a little wild side. And we know our dogs can sometimes too.
oh
So it's
yeah.
fitting. Love it. Love it. So tell me about social media because you have some tech background and how did you use that to grow your business?
Social media was a little bit different back, I guess, like 2018. We didn't depend too much on social media like we do now.
Right.
Basically, I just posted pictures, hoping people would see them. I mean, I had no idea what Instagram was going to do for me or Facebook. I mean, I really never had anything go viral or anything. But I think the biggest thing was social media is just connecting with your community. And a lot of my followers and my customers have been with me since I started, and they've seen this whole journey of Wildside. And we're basically like family now.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that sense of community. It's not just about a brand, but it's about kind of a movement. That's what we're seeing here with Dog Mom News. We love it. We have like incredible people who are so behind what we're doing right now. And it's just amazing how you can use social media for good to get the word out and to foster that sense of friendship and let's do this together. So tell us about your products. What are some of your top sellers?
So we offer durable dog harnesses, collars, and leashes. And it was inspired by our first dog, Jib. We
Oh,
were going to the pet store to shop for, some cute stuff for him. It was a struggle. We couldn't find anything cute or, in, his bigger size or anything durable. So that
sure.
kind of sparked an idea from where I started making the fabric, handmade collars and leashes. I'm just like, I think there's a need out there for something like this. I mean, I'm not the only one, but I have my own spin on my products, which is bright, vibrant, but yet durable. Our harnesses, everyone loves them because there's a buckle at the neck and you don't have to slip it over the dog's head.
So
Dogs hate it
nice.
when you do that for some reason. It could be PTSD. It just could be just a thing that they don't like. Anyone. I don't think you like that if someone pulls something over your
No,
head,
of
right?
course not. Of course not. And if you can get them to kind of concede to putting it on faster, if they know it's going to be easier to come off, well, why not? And the
They don't really-
durability. I love how you mentioned that because there's nothing worse than you invest in a product, you're really excited about it, and just what like the shelf life's like this big, that you're putting so much time and effort into really making sure that these are products that are not only cute but are actually going to last.
Right. And with bigger dogs, it's hard. I did buy some products for them in the past that was made for smaller dogs, but they had bigger sizes. And right when we tried it on, went for a walk, it just ripped right off of them. I was like, oh, this is not going to work with my
Sure.
75-pound, golden retriever. We need something that has, a structure to them, something, heavy duty, made for bigger dogs. I mean, you have to worry about their safety and others, at all times.
Yes, and you mentioned safety. And I know that this is a topic that you are so passionate about, the pet safe products. So I'm sure that that factors into the decisions you're making when you're developing these products as well.
Yes, so we test all of our buckle strength. We offer stainless steel hardware. It's just the strongest. And for active dogs out there too, our dogs, they swim a lot at the beach or at the pool where they
Yes.
compete in dock diving. So we need hardware that won't rust and that can last for a long time with them. So testing the dog gear strength and the material is really important to us. So we always harness on the durability of our products. No
That's
pun
great. There's the retractable leashes can be kind of controversial. What's your take
intended.
on the retractable leashes?
I mean, I've used them before myself, but that was maybe like 25 years ago.
Right.
I really think that's just the personal preference for what you're using it for. It's great for some dog training if you're trying to do recall. I think is great, but for every day, I just think they're a little bit dangerous for me. For someone that's clumsy, there are
Mhm.
clumsy people out there. I just always have this like image in my head that I drop the retractable leash and then
Right.
it hits my dog in the back of the head and they just run like for it.
Oh, right. It's like if it can happen, it'll probably happen.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it. Now, this may seem like a really entry level question for you, and so forgive us, but I know some dog moms are watching and they want to know from you because you're the expert. What would you say are the main differences between like a collar and a harness, or can you give us like the top benefits of a harness versus, walking your dog just by the collar and a leash? So, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's different with everyone with collars and harnesses. It's more of like if you there's different types of collars out there. So the collars that we offer, they're the quick release buckles. And there's
Okay.
also, like martingales and everything else out there. So ours is just convenience and strong. That's what, I aim for. And then harnesses, some people use them for older dogs or dogs that have issues with their trachea. Like with our senior golden, there's a handle on the harness that helps us get them up, or we use it during our hikes if we need to get the dogs through a scramble or something like that. Some people use it for training, so it just kind of depends what your needs are, but you can always fit that into your lifestyle.
I love that. And I know you're an innovator, Candy. So I want to ask you, where do you see Wildside Dog Gear in the next 3 to 5 years? What's your your long-term plan for your company?
Wow, 3 to 5 years. Hopefully we can get into national parks because we have a lot of national parks inspired designs from all
So
the
fun.
travels we do. And maybe also, like airports, like Salt Lake City Airport, when I go into them, I go to the gift shops. I'm like, my collars needs to be in here because these people are leaving from Utah and they want to bring something back for their dogs. Like we need to get into
Yes.
gift shops.
Makes
Just
sense.
hopefully getting into more mom and pop stores in the future, like retail stores, not necessarily like Petco or Amazon or anything like that. But if we do, I like to go into Target for a limited time, something like that.
Oh, well, I love your plans. Sounds so fun. And we want to hear more in the future about the awesome things happening with Wildside Dog Gear. But if folks want to stay on top of what's going on with your business and your products, what's the best way for them to do that?
I'm very active on Instagram. The handle should be maybe in the bottom, Wildside Dog Gear. You can
Yes.
reach out there or you can send us an email, just candy@wildsidedoggear.com.
Fantastic. Candi Wong of Wildside Dog Gear, thank you so much for your time. I've loved chatting with you. And again, we know good things are ahead for you. Take
Thank you
care.
for having me. Bye.
All right, dog moms, you know what time it is? It's time for my favorite segment. It's dog meme time. If you want to see some dog memes, I want you to type meme in the chat box there. Do it now. You know you want to. All right, we have been looking for the funniest laugh out loud dog memes because that's what we do. And it's time now to share dog meme time. Let's go. Our first meme from Molly Conger. According to a new lawsuit, these dogs have been unfairly denied access to street treats. Specific allegations include chicken bones, half a sandwich, a putrefied dead rodent, and unspecified food wrappers on multiple occasions. I do declare they are representing themselves. And up next, an important tip from Nathan W. Pyle. This tip: if a friend ever says they have a chocolate lab, do not get your hopes up when you are going to their house, because get this, they are just talking about a dog. You are not receiving any chocolate treats when you arrive. Note to self: chocolate lab actually means canine. Okay, you're welcome. We're always here to help you out. Next one, we found the photo. I mean, can you even take this cuteness? Look at how many dogs are just staring directly into the camera for this picture here. I do not know who possibly could have taken this incredible photo, but we're talking like 9 dogs. Actually, it's this guy right here, this unicorn photographer and dog walker who he needs a trophy, you guys. Look at these dogs. He is across the street capturing this cuteness for us. He is amazing. We Rate Dogs says, these dogs were spotted getting their picture taken mid-walk. Mid-walk, as if that wasn't good enough. And they're doing so well, and their walker is so proud, and I can't handle it. I'm with you, We Rate Dogs. I give this a 14 out of 10 for all. I call these dogs unicorn dogs and unicorn photographer. I can't even. All right, up next, we have a special treat, a video for you here from Twitter. Guess which dog has never seen the ocean? I wonder which one. The one that's like skipping on top. I can't wait. Let me see. Let me see. It's the cutest. Love it. One more time. Okay, no, we're moving on. Look at this. Found my dog hiding from her puppies. She's like, can I just have a quiet moment? Please, dog mom, please. Just let me have a little time to decompress. And we're going to move on to the next one. Well, this is actually our quote of the week. So we go from the bathtub apparently to talking about toilets. But the quote is this: you know you're a dog mom when you can't go to the bathroom without an escort. Isn't that the truth? It's like they know where we are at all times, but you can't help but love them. They're absolutely the best. Okay, so we know that you enjoyed those memes. I'm sure you did, as much as I did. So many cute moments in there. If you want to see more videos like these, I'm going to tell you what, you should go onto our YouTube channel. It is amazing. And while you're at it, hit like and subscribe and ring the bell so you can find out when we have amazing new content that we're putting out there all the time. If you're watching on other social media platforms, go ahead and like and comment and share, because it helps us grow. And we are so super grateful for you. So thanks for all you do for Dog Mom News. Now, speaking of fantastic content, we want to remind you of the opportunity to become a premium monthly member. You might be asking yourself, well, what does this membership include? Well, we're going to tell you right now. It is a monthly membership with access to monthly getaways and giveaways with expert dog training tips from top dog trainers. We're going to talk about dream-free vacations. Who doesn't love that? And dog health. We are also going to give you exclusive access to our Facebook group. We're going to give you dog grooming tips, and we're going to have tips from even dog nutritionists for preventative health. We're going to have custom apparel. Look at these cute dog mom shirts. And then we're also going to have online shopping discounts and lots of free stuff in the doggy world. And all of this is aimed at improving the bond between you and your dog. I mean, really, with the giveaways alone, it pretty much pays for itself, and you are just going to love it. It's jam-packed with valuable information, and it's just fantastic. And listen, for a limited time, we are offering a 14-day free trial. So head on over to dogmomnews.com/premium to sign up for your free trial. We just know that you are going to love it. We had an excellent episode today. We talked to the lovely Michelle Stern of Pooch Parenting, and we also got to visit with Candi Wong from Wildside Dog Gear. These ladies had so much helpful and valuable information to share. We also want to encourage you to join us next week. So go ahead and mark your calendar now because we have incredible guests on the show all the time. We are going to be visiting with Courtney Ruciani of Dexty Paws. And we're also going to talk with Vale Wyman. She is the co-creator of Pupwise. So be sure to join us next Thursday. Now, remember, the fun does not stop here, okay? We want you to go online. We want you to interact with Dog Mom News. We want you to go ahead and if you see any cool content, tag us in the post at Dog Mom News. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, as we said, so that you can stay up to date on everything that we have going on. Dog Mom News is growing, but when you do this, when you participate, when you like, when you comment, when you share, when you're on YouTube and you like and you subscribe and you ring the bell, you help us grow and it's a win-win. And I have to tell you, there are so many amazing dog moms interacting with our content all the time and connecting with one another. So if you haven't gotten involved already, I really want to encourage you to do this. And plus, it's like every time I go on, I see the cutest pups and these incredible women, and it lights up my whole day. So go ahead and get involved. I also want to encourage you to go to our website. It's dogmomnews.com. So you can again revisit all of the details in our premium membership, and you can just get involved with all of the awesome things that are happening. More information on our contests. There's also an opportunity to drop us, an email and tell us if perhaps you even want to be a guest on the show. So we want to hear from you, and that's the bottom line. Dog moms, thank you so much for joining us today. We are so grateful for you. We are so excited about what's happening, and be sure to join us next Thursday, same pup time, same pup channel. For all of us at Dog Mom News Live, I'm Corrina Sullivan. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.